Settle in, just find a comfortable posture. Just bring your minds to your breath, just the in and out of your breath. And let go of everything, your discussions and so on. And now from this quiet space, we visualize in front of us Shakyamuni Buddha, surrounded by all the Buddhas of the 10 directions. His Holiness the Dalai Lama and all the masters. And surrounding us are the Bodhisattva field, our mother on the left-hand side, and all sentient beings, female sentient beings. And our father on the right-hand side, and all male sentient beings. And again, we remind ourselves of the purpose that we are doing this. We are listening to the teachings in order to remove all our obscurations, so that the gold may shine forth, and we may benefit ourselves and all sentient beings. So with that in mind, we will recite page 4, taking refuge and generating Buddhism. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By manipulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By manipulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By manipulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sangye chodam soke chonam la janchu vadu dani kyapsuchi Yagi jinso yebe sonam ki drola benchir sangye drupasho Sangye chodam soke chonam la janchu vadu dani kyapsuchi Yagi jinso yebe sonam ki drola benchir sangye drupasho Sangye chodam soke chonam la janchu vadu dani kyapsuchi Dagi jinso yebe sonam ki drola benchir sangye drupasho. Page 6, the essence of the dependent rejuvenation mantra. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum tesham tathagato yavadat tesham chayo nirodha evam vade mahashramanaye svaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum tesham tathagato yavadat tesham chayo nirodha evam vade mahashramanaye svaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum tesham tathagato yavadat tesham chayo nirodha evam vade mahashramanaye svaha. Meaning of the 10 rounding full mantra. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation of causes as well is taught by the Great Seer. Again, the mantra, Heart Sutra mantra. Page 31. Tata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasangate Bodhiswatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate
bodhiswatyadam Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgrate bodhiswa.
Okay, what was we doing the first session? We would leave. Anyone?
Season of karmas and afflictions, nirvana. The line, season of karmas and afflictions, nirvana.
Yes, and more immediate.
How do we know these things don't exist objectively?
How do we know things don't exist objectively? And how do we know things exist subjectively? Okay, this is a question. For that is for example, let's say one common example that I give is that, for example, let's say this flower, if it is lying close to Carl. Where's Carl? Carl? Okay. So let's say this flower is lying close to Carl, right? And then I ran there and picked this up and said, it is my flower. It's my flower. It is, do you agree with me that it implies that I'm saying it is not yours? You agree? So this is my flower is another way of saying this is not your flower. If I say this is not your flower, Carl, it's very offensive. It's a nice way of saying is it's my flower. It's a nice way of saying it. Actually the meaning is the same. You agree? So when I say it is my flower, it means that it's not your flower. When I say everything is subjective, you are saying there is nothing is objective. You're getting everything's empty of, hey, what? You're all Dios. What happened? When I say everything exists subjectively means nothing exists objectively. You're getting it? Nothing. And in the word for this is everything is empty of objective existence. So what we learned is that objective, subjective. Things exist subjectively, nothing exists subjectively. This is what we're learning, and we heard this label for the as of now. We heard this label that some things exist subjectively, nothing exists objectively. But how? This is what we are learning. Okay. For that matter, first I'd like to introduce to you some vocabularies, very important vocabularies. So what we said is subjective as opposed to objective. Likewise, conventional as opposed to ultimate. Okay, some of you may be wondering, how come that these people, they know that already? You're getting it? And then you may think that you're so dull, right? How come that they hear something and everybody has answer? Not everybody. And these people who have all the answers on the fingertips, they struggled 2-3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and so forth. Now they learn something and they are saying, and it may give you a feeling to make you feel a little demoralized that I don't know anything. I'm so dull, right? So and then after 2-3 years, you will give the answers. You'll make other people feel dull, right? Okay, so keep that in mind. Don't feel demoralized when you see the other people giving the answers. In a way, it's very quick for us. Very quick learning, because that when somebody says this, your mind is active. Okay, I'm not knowing this. I have to learn it. You're getting it? So there's a receptivity opening up within you when others give the answer. Okay, so what we said is subjective as opposed to objective, conventional as opposed to ultimate, relative as opposed to absolute, deceptive as opposed to truly, and what else?
Dependent.
Oh, dependent as opposed to
Independent.
independent. Okay. Say, who said it? Dependent as opposed to independent. Who said it? Sherry said it. The same place here 2 years ago. She said that I don't understand anything. 2 years ago. Ask her. She said that I don't understand anything, right? So now, without me telling, she's saving everything. You're getting it? This is what all of you are going to do later on. So don't feel demoralized. Okay, so what are they? Subjective as opposed to objective, conventional as opposed to relative as opposed to absolute, deceptive as opposed to truly, and dependent as opposed to independent. How many opposites are there? How many sets of opposites? 5. These are very important points. So in other words, from this, what we have learned is that there are the 5 of these are there are 2 sets of 5 which are synonymous. Say, what is that? Subjective, conventional, relative, deceptive, dependent. These 5 are synonymous, and the opposite 5 are synonymous. What are the 5 opposites? Objective, ultimate existence, absolute existence, true existence, independent existence. These 5 are synonymous. You getting it? So this is what we have to learn. For the time being, you just have these the 2 sets of the 5 on your fingertips, that these are synonymous. And now later on you also need to know how they are synonymous, not just that, just like, what is that, like mimicking, be able to mimic what somebody said it, but it must come to your mind as to how they are synonymous. You're getting it? How each of these 5, they are the synonymous with each other. That's something we have to learn. So for the time being, what I'd like to share with you is the subjective as opposed to objective, and conventional as opposed to ultimate. So these are the 2 sets which I'd like to explain to you now. And then later on, if you're really interested and if you come to get a sense that finally my life, the greatest of the meaning of my life is to understand emptiness, and as what Hamuli said, to understand emptiness and to get a feel of bodhicitta. If you get this feeling that this is the final thing that I have to do, then you have to study more in detail. Study more in detail, and then you have to really understand how these 5, they are synonymous with each other, and how the 5 opposites are likewise synonymous with each other. Not just leave it that, okay, these are synonymous because I learned it from, Thosamling retreat. It's not just that. You should actually feel that, know that yourself. For the time being, what are you going to do? Objective, subjective, and conventional, ultimate. This is what you're going to learn for the time being. Okay, objective, subjective, say to some extent you have already understood it, right? We said that this flower in my right hand is objective in a loose sense, objective, and the imaginary blue flower is subjective in a loose sense. And then finally we have to learn that everything is subjective, there's nothing objective. This is what we're going to learn. But before we learn, we have to know, what if objective is not there? What do you mean by objective? We have to reject it, you have to know what it is. Okay, you tell me if my statement is correct, right? If my statement is correct or not, you tell me. I have no Langjin in my pocket. Correct or not correct? I have no Langjin in my pocket. You know what pocket is? I have a pocket here inside. I have no Langjin in my pocket. How many of you would say that this is a correct statement?
No lunch in the pocket.
No. I do not ask you to ask me a question. I said if the statement is correct or not correct. Just say statement is correct or not correct. Gishma, you don't know. Are you sure? Okay. Okay, the lady here, what's your name? Paramji, tell me. I don't have lunch in my pocket. Correct or not correct?
You don't know what?
The lunch is in your pocket or not?
Lunch.
Lunch? No, I don't have lunch. A luncheon. Luncheon. So, I don't have luncheon in my pocket. Is correct or not correct? Huh? Say it again. You don't know what? Why not? Why don't you know is correct or not correct? Why don't you know?
Because I'm not able to see that.
Huh?
I don't know you.
Why you don't know? Tell me the reason. Anyone else? Anyone else? Raise hands, 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 raise hands. Okay, Tenzin tell me.
I don't know whether it is a Nansen or not because I don't know what Nansen is.
Exactly, this is what you have to say. I don't know what Langchen means, right? So therefore, I don't have the capacity to say whether this statement is correct or not correct. In the first place, to say it is correct or not correct, I have to know what Langchen is. Langchen means elephant. Langchen is a Tibetan word for elephant, right? So I have no Langchen in my pocket. Correct or not correct? It's a correct statement. You're getting it? So to say it is correct or not correct, to say that there's no Langchen in my pocket, you have to know what Langchen means. If you don't know that, you cannot reject it, you cannot accept it. You understand it? You agree with me? If you agree, raise hands. Okay, good. Okay, so therefore, to say that there's no objective reality, you have to know what is objective reality. You getting it? What is objective reality? To say there's no ultimate existence, there's nothing which exists ultimately, you have to know what if something exists objectively, what something exists ultimately, you have to know that. So, thus far, believe it or not, since time immemorial till now, we are being deceived by this self-grasping ignorance, making us believe that things exist as objectively real. Okay, if you don't believe in me, pick up something and look at it yourself. Pick up something and look at it and see how does the object appear to you, as objectively real or as subjectively real. How does it appear? Hey, this girl, how does it appear? Objective or subjective? Okay, it appears as, no, I'm not asking whether it's object or not. It is object, I know. Huh? It is object, I know. Does it exist objectively or subjectively? How does it appear to you? Objectively. Okay, this girl. How does it appear to you? As objectively or subjectively? From very different planet. How does it appear to the rest of you? How does it appear to you, objectively or subjectively as real? Objectively. Okay, lucky. Okay, so it appears object real. That is deceptive. This is deceptive. Okay, look at the person sitting next to you. Some people, they look at everyone. No, I didn't ask you to look at everyone. Look at only one person sitting next to you. Huh? Okay, I did not ask you to smile. You are smiling. I just asked you to look at the other person. Okay, be serious. Look at the other person. Still you are smiling. Susan is the most serious student. She's not smiling. She's very serious. Okay, so they say when you look at the other person, you see something which made you to smile. You're getting it? Which invariably made you to smile. Now think of the same face which made you smile. Close eyes and think of the same face which made you smile. Think of that. Okay, lucky that nobody's smiling now. You're getting it? If you smile, it's time for you to go to mental hospital. No, but when you look at the other person with the eyes, you smile, you don't worry, you don't go to mental hospital. Not looking at it, simply mental thinking, and you smile, it's time for you to mental hospital. You're getting it? So you're smiling, lucky. Okay, you tell me why in the first case you invariably made you smile. Why in the second case you did not smile? You think of the same face which made you smile, but it doesn't. You do not smile. Why not? Quick. Okay, in the second case, you don't see that face as objectively real. Then how do you see that? It's just what your mind imagines. So when you see it as the subjective, imagine meaning subjective, then your mind is under control. You're getting it? When you look at the other person with your eyes, you see the person is objectively real. When that happens, your emotions lose the control. Invariably you smile. You're getting it? Okay, now look at the other person. Quick. Again, you're smiling. You're getting it? So you have lost your control of your emotion. You have lost control of emotion because object appears as objectively real. You're getting it? When you see the object as objectively real, loss of emotions happen. When you see the object as subjectively real, there's control over your emotion. This is so important. So somebody who said, I don't know who that was, I don't remember that. Somebody who said that finally, what did you learn from the last 2 days? The person said that you get control of your emotions to see that nothing exists objectively real. So this is the point. So, okay, having said this, what we're learning is that everything is subjectively real. Nothing exists objectively. What's the benefit? To know that everything is subjectively real or everything is empty of objective reality, your emotions are under control. No fear. Fear is voluntarily you are creating fear, or you are involuntarily the fear comes. Involuntary. Nobody wants fear, but involuntary it arises. So involuntary emotions will subside. You're getting it? All the fears and so forth, they subside. This is where you get the total freedom. By seeing things as subject real, nothing is subject real. Okay, so subjective, objective, does make some sense now, right? How everything is subjective, we have not yet learned. You getting it? We have not yet learned that, but at least what we've learned is that, okay, for time being, he said that everything exists subjectively, but how? Not yet answered. You agree with me? Good. The next is what? Next is conventional and ultimate. Okay, we need lots of examples because these are the concepts which we never thought about before. We never thought about it before. Conventions and ultimate. How things exist conventionally, nothing exists ultimately. So we need a lot of examples. Before that, what do you mean by convention? Because conventionally means convention. You have to know what convention is. Anybody? What's convention? Raise hands. What is convention? What do you understand by convention? Yes. Something which is generally accepted. Can you give me some example?
Like all of us have the same understanding about, let's say, water.
Let's say water. So water, let's say that okay. Okay, let's say water. Yes, water. I fully agree with her. The only thing is that I'm looking for something which people can easily understand. Okay, this means convention, because still with the water, we have the feeling that it exists ultimately real. Anyone else? What is convention? Okay, Joel. The money, yes, money is actually a piece of paper, but it operates as like the food. It's just a bunch of piece of papers, and then with that you can get house, cars, everything, right? Whereas let's say you take a book and cut it. Book means it has many papers. Cut it and say that Somebody with many papers got house, so I also want to get a house with this, right? You will not get it. So there's a convention here. You're getting it? So why this bunch of paper works and why the other bunch of paper did not work? Why not? Anyone? Why a bunch of paper, which we call as money? This works to get house and these fans last year, right? Last year we got the fans, we got the all the Buddha statues, house, everything. But a bunch of papers with the book, you cut into pieces, a bunch of papers, and you say that I want to buy this. Nobody will give you anything, right? Okay, why not? Why with one bunch of paper you can buy everything, but another set of bunch of paper you can't get anything? Yes.
No, just to ask, when you say conventional, you mean something that agreed?
This is what I'm asking. I don't know. I asked, and the Ivana said it is something which is agreed upon by people.
So the opposite of that is not alternative or non-conventional?
Non-conventional, ultimate. Yes. Yes. Good. Anyone else? What is convention? Here. Your name?
Stefan.
Stefan, yes.
I was speaking about a metric, like kilograms or kilometers. That is also a convention.
A kilometer, 1 kilometer. How is it convention? How is it convention?
Because we all think the same. That 1 kilometer means the same
Distance. 1 kilometer means the one distance which everybody agrees, right? Okay.
For the paper, for the question you ask, one note is perceived like valuable and is accepted, decided by a community that it will be valuable, and the other piece of paper is not perceived like valuable.
Okay, what was your name? Okay, how many agree with the Gul Bahar? How many agree with Gul Bahar? Raise hands. Very good. Okay, the boy there, Namjala.
So I think the conventional and the money one, I think is a matter of what it goes over acceptance.
Acceptance, like what?
Like general acceptance.
General acceptance. We agree that this is money. We agree that this is house. So house is convention. So everything is convention. Huh? Okay. Time. How?
Time, we define time. Time is divided. We agreed about how time has a beginning, has an end. We divide it to hours, minutes.
So the say chunk of a time. Chunk of a time meaning the certain period of time, like 1 hour and so forth. This is purely convention. There's nothing to say that I'm 1 hour. There's nothing there. It's purely convention created. There's a good point. Anyone else? What is convention? Language is a convention.
If a person sees, if a boy sees an elephant, he does not say elephant or luncheon unless someone taught him before.
Okay, so language is pure convention. And say when I say luncheon means elephant, many of you laughed, right? Because for you, elephant is very pleasant to your ears. It means something. Luncheon has no clue. And suddenly luncheon means elephant, right? And then it gives you a sense of surprise because that your mind is not able to relate this word luncheon with what you call as elephant. You cannot relate this. You're getting it? It looks so strange. How many of you, when you were small, when you hear another language, you start laughing? You hear another language, you start laughing. Somebody talking another language, you start laughing. Raise your hands. So weird. This is not a language, right? Something like this, right? So weird. Raise your hands. Yes, it's not weird. Your mind is weird. Your mind did not know the meaning of conventions. You're getting it? Even your language is also same. But for you, this is not This means something. And for other people, your language It has no meaning. You're getting it? It's purely convention. Anyone else?
Social behavior,
Like what?
like when you walk in,
Yes.
Linda is walking in, so you all stand up. There is no question about somebody sitting down and whatnot.
Okay, say the physical expression of what we call as the respect, the societal, social etiquette. It's a purely convention where, right? Oh, His Holiness is arriving now. Stand up, right? His Holiness is arriving now. Sit down. You're getting it? And sometimes you have to say sit down. Sometimes you have to say sit up. It's purely convention. Where people say that, oh, now His Holiness is arriving, sit up. If you sit down, it's disrespectful. Where His Holiness is coming now, if you sit down, you stand up, it is disrespectful. Right? In some places, you will say for very important meetings, you put on your hat. This is respect. In some places, very important meetings, you put on a hat. It is disrespectful. It's purely convention. You're getting it? Whereas, while it is purely convention, we don't see them as convention. We see them as opposite of convention is ultimate. Because it is seen as ultimate. Objectively, this is right, this is wrong. Then people start fighting. You're getting it? That you are not respecting our tradition. You are putting on the hat while you come into our shrine. You are not respecting our tradition because you are not putting on the hat. Right? And then people fight, people kill each other, seeing the convention as ultimately real. That's a problem. When we see things, what is conventional as purely the objective and ultimate, then people become very fanatic. You're getting all the anger, fear, they're all because of seeing this object real. So therefore, this is so liberating to see that everything is purely convention. When you see that liberated means that you are free from the entanglements of the world. That is known as the Buddha nature becoming awake and you are free. You getting it? So therefore, thus far, how do we see things? We see things as conventional or we see things as ultimate thus far. So maybe we can ask the younger ones. How do you see thus far? As object real or as conventional, as object real or ultimately real, or as subjective real or conventional? How do you see things thus far?
Can you explain ultimate again? Because ultimate means the word, ultimate means beyond limitation.
Okay.
So in this respect, how are you using it?
Very good question. Very good question. Okay, how many of you understood a little bit about convention? Raise hands. Okay. And say, if you understand convention, then the opposite is ultimate. You're getting it? Don't try to look for the meaning of ultimate, something different. Just understand, for example, Langchen, you understood it? Now you understand the opposite of Langchen also? I did not explain what opposite of Langchen is. But simply explain what Langchen is, you know the opposite of Langchen. What is the opposite of Langchen? Non-elephants. You're getting it? So this is how we have to learn. Because that one problem with us is we objectify things. Objectify meaning, opposite of objectification is subjectification. You're getting it? Objectification, subjectification. So one problem is that we objectify things so solidly there. So because as when we say conventional, we try to create a meaning out of convention. Then what's opposite of that? You will look for again another meaning. If you know the convention, then you just try to see what is the opposite like. That's the meaning of ultimate. Okay, still, it's not that easy. This is something that we have to keep exploring. We have to study more. You're getting it? This is so important. Okay. So we need more examples. We need more examples. For example, like the language, you know how most of us, particularly I would say that the elders, particularly people who traveled a lot, for you, when you hear somebody else's another language, it does not sound weird, right? because that you're already used to by being exposed to the various places, different people. Then okay, this is their language, this is my language, so for them that is so beautiful. For me, my own language is so beautiful. And but for the younger ones, particularly who are not exposed to the outside world, right, for the first time you're meeting another person with a different language, the people converse and the language seems so weird, so strange to your ear. You're getting it? So when I was little, when I heard His Holiness giving teachings, wow, it's so meaningful. And then people listening in English, right? People listening in English, oh, the poor guy, the poor people, they are not getting this, what he's going to say. Because what the English translator, is translating is a very different language. It's very different. This is not, what he's translating is not actually what he's only saying. Because for me, what he's only saying is in Tibetan. And for me, my brain is wired in that form. It gives full of meaning. When I hear another language, it doesn't give that same meaning. You're getting it? But for others, in English, in Russian, in Vietnamese, whatever language, it makes full of sense for them. Tibetan, it doesn't make sense for them. You're getting it? So this is purely convention. And if you see somebody else talking a particular language, different language, and you smile or you feel something, something weird inside, which means that you have the objectification of language so strongly. To see things as so object real, the language object real. Your language is so beautiful. You see there's object real as beautiful. That's a problem. And because of this, then all the ethnicity chauvinism came, gender chauvinism came, language chauvinism, religious chauvinism. My religion is the best. My ethnicity is the best. My gender is the best. All these problems arise because of seeing this object real. Till the Buddha appeared on this planet Earth, nobody taught that everything is purely subjective. Nobody taught that. The Buddha came on this 2,500 years ago, then he discovered it. Even his two teachers could not teach the Buddha that nothing is subjectively. So this is the greatest of the legacy of the Buddha Shakyamuni for us, that we can be liberated by this knowledge. But we have to know this, not just believe in what the Buddha taught. We have to know this cognitively. Okay. So when I was young meaning I was age, I think 15 in school, when I was studying physics, my teacher said, I was so fascinated by the electricity, how the electricity works. Electricity with the wire and the wire, there are always two wires coming together, right? Two wires. And sometimes three wires. But two wires always there. And I was so curious, why two wires? Why two wires? This was my question as a little boy. Then one day in a physics class on electricity, the teacher said that these two are two different poles, right? One is positive and one is negative. And I was so curious. This is a question which I've been wanting to know since all these many years. Now suddenly there's, this topic is here. Now the teacher is teaching us which is positive, which is negative. I want to identify, right? Which is positive, which is negative. I was waiting so patiently. And the teacher said that one is positive, one is negative. And how do you identify this? Purely convention. It just shattered my being. Pure convention means that you cannot say that this is positive, this is positive. You cannot identify that. Objectively, you cannot identify. Right? One is positive, one is negative. That's it. Finish. It's pure convention. These two are different. And which is which? It's just pure convention. Convention means objectively you cannot say anything. It just shook me deeply. I didn't know that actually my belief in objective reality is shattered. Right? I didn't know that. But actually what was happening, why this feeling, I felt that it was shattered. Something inside me was shattered, was because that my objectification of the electricity, what is positive, negative, that belief in things objective, real, that was shattered. That was my belief, and that was shattered because it's purely convention. Fine, what's wrong with pure convention? But I could not believe it. Thus far, I was been seeing things as objective, real. You getting it? Then another one about the money. About the money is very interesting. Say, how many of you in your school days or wherever in some places where you use the coupon money, some papers that work as a money temporarily in that place, in that time, represents coupon money, right? You go to some cafeteria, they will issue some, you give the proper money, then they give you the coupon money, and you take this the coupon money, it works. I want a coffee, I want this, and they will give you, right? So this coupon money. We were in class 2, age what? 6, 7. Age 6, 7. And the, we call it spring fair. So the school opens, and then within few weeks time, then the spring fair, we have the spring fair holiday. So at that time, all activities are happening. You can do shopping, temporary shops are being created, and the games were there. You pay and you pay the games. All these things happen within the school campus. And the school children, today the school children, because of the parents, they have money. So, but in those days, most students in a school, they don't really have money. So school gives you money, some money, but that day the money is only the coupon money, not real money, coupon money. And the pink, blue, right? And so we say pink is like the half rupee, blue is 1 rupee, and maybe green is like 1/4 of a rupee, like this. And you are given, according to your school, or what level of class, you are given this much money, 1 rupee, 2 rupees, and so forth. Not too much. So with this you go there, and then you know, they play games or buy some eatables and so forth. They work. Then the day finished and the spring fair finished, and the next to go to school, go to class. So class, one of my classmates, he had bunch of coupons. And I was so, not only me, all the other students, they were so envious. How come that you have all this huge amount of money, right? Where did you get it from? He said that I went through the garbage and I found them. I found the garbage. Then we just felt that we should have gone there first, so that we got it ourselves, right? And why we are envious? Why? Actually, it's garbage. Actually, it's garbage now. What are you going to do with this? It's garbage. But in the small children's mind, this is seen as intrinsically, objectively as money. You getting it? Still this mind that this is just temporarily, given the convention, is a money that the children cannot digest this concept. You getting it? They still see as objectively the money. Okay, so then when you go something, this will not work. You know that it will not work, but still there's a belief that he's so lucky that he got all this bunch of coupons. Okay, so this is where you see what is convention as ultimate, real, ultimate, and this is how our mind works. Okay, so let's say that what did I say? You give the real money, and then the school will give you in exchange they will give you the coupon money, right? So you give the real money and you get the coupon money. Actually, what you call as real money is also coupon money. You agree? What you give is, for example, India, a few years ago, 2,000 rupees note. It's a coupon money. Now, if you did not change it, you keep it, it does not work. It's money. You get it's a coupon money. Look, within the convention, again we are trapped. I give real money and they issued me coupon money. You actually gave a coupon money, you gave another coupon money back. You agree with this? Even this money, what you call is real money, is also a convention. Convention, therefore it's a coupon money. Okay, so these are things that we need to think of, how things are convention. And yet the convention is so powerful, right? For example, like say the presidents, the prime ministers, they are purely convention. Say a Nobel laureate, this is purely convention. For example, say a Nobel laureate, Professor Anton Zeilinger, who became a Nobel laureate in 2022, physics. And 2008, I think, 2008 or 2008, I think. 2008, I invited him to my room because he came for the conference with His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And then we had some discussions on quantum physics. And then he said that you seem to have many questions on quantum physics, you can ask me. Then I said that, okay, we cannot discuss here in His Holiness' residence for security reasons, we have to get out. So I took him to my room and we discussed. So he was just an ordinary physicist. Then, 2022, he became a Nobel laureate in physics. Now he was a big person. But knowledge-wise, the same person. He was already in 70s then. And today he must be almost hitting 90s. So what I'm saying is that the same person with the knowledge, everything the same, simply because people they voted or whatever with some consensus saying that, oh, you're a Nobel laureate, and then the next day people have the recognition that he's a Nobel laureate. Otherwise, why Nobel laureate? Somebody is very knowledgeable. His knowledge before being Nobel laureate and after Nobel laureate is the same. But label is given, then he becomes very special. This is known as the convention. And presidents, prime ministers, before becoming the president, he was just an ordinary person. And then once elected as the president, he becomes very powerful. It's the same person. But what makes the person very powerful the very next day? Because of the convention. What convention? What convention? The agreement of the people. In what form? In the form of election, right? Okay, so with this in mind, say convention has a connotation of subjectivity. So we're trying to correlate the convention subjectivity to mean the same and objective and ultimate to mean the same. You're getting it? Convention and subjective mean the same. Or subjective, what do you mean? What do you understand by subjective? Quick. What do you mean by subjective? Quick. Tell me quick, to save time.
Personal.
Okay, subjective is something personal, meaning that it is my subjective view. It's not objective, something universal. No, it is personal, right? It also has this connotation. Anyone else?
One own interpretation. One own view and one own opinion.
Okay. What have you learned this morning? Be sympathetic to me. Thus far, what have you learned? Subjective. What have you learned? Right? Lisa.
Appearing to exist from the subject side, subject's point of view. Like the imaginary flower.
Like the imaginary flower, which exists by the power of your subject. You getting it? So within this, then the personal, this all makes sense. So first we need to know what is subjective. You getting it? Once we know that, then all understand. Namjaro, what did you say? One's own opinion, one personal opinion, they will all make sense if you understand what subjective means from a broader perspective. So what Lisa said is subjective means something which is coming from your mind, not from the object. You agree? That is subjective. Now, how do we equate subjective versus subjective with conventional? How do you equate the two? This is what I'm trying to do here. Okay. They say when you drive a car, which lane should we drive? Which lane is correct for you to drive? Right lane or left lane? Raise your hands. Raise hands, raise hands, raise your hands, raise hands, raise hands. Okay, Madhavji. No, I'm asking you.
Depends on where I am.
You are in Thosamling. This is what I'm saying. So left and here. Right. So look. So now who to trust? They tell you different information. One said left, one said right. So you can drive both. Right? In some places, yes, you can drive both. Right? Okay, so which is correct? Both are correct. So you can drive both sides.
Both are correct.
Huh? Left is correct.
No, both are correct as well.
For you, left is correct. Okay, in India, left is correct. Okay, this girl is very precise. In India, left is correct. Then in Israel, right is correct. Right? In America, right is correct. In UK, left is correct. Right? Okay. So from this, we see that if you drive, for example, India, if you drive on the right, what happened to you? Accidents can happen, or you'll be put to penalty. Penalty meaning that you drove on the wrong lane. Yes? And who tells you that you drove on the wrong lane? The lane will tell you, the road will tell you, hey, don't drive, you are on the wrong lane. The road tells you, road is object. Road tells you or not? Road will not tell you whether you drive on the right or left. Road will not tell you. Object will not tell you. So who decides that you are on the wrong lane? Huh? The power of the authority, the policeman. Why the policeman? This policeman said that you are on the wrong lane. Why? What made him to decide that? Huh? Hey, tell me. Yeah. How? Rules were created. Rules were created. Who made the rules? Huh? People. Who made the rules? People made the rules. Right? You getting it? People's body made the rules, or people's mind made the rule? People's mind made the rule. So mind is subjective. You getting it? So convention has a connotation of subjectivity. Convention, subjective, they mean the same. You're getting it? Okay. Now, if you know the convention, subjective, they mean the same. Opposite of convention is ultimate. Opposite of subjective is objective. Objective and ultimate, they mean the same. You getting it? Okay. How many got it? To some extent, minimum 40%. Raise hands. Minimum 40%, I got it. Oh, you good. So with this, find out what we are supposed to be, what we are supposed to learn. Hey, you have to put me back in track. What are we supposed to learn?
How do we know your
Okay, rainbow subject objective. Anyone else? Anyone else? What are we supposed to be learning here?
How we know things are existing.
How to see things subject.
How do we know that things are subject? How can I know that things are subjective? How many agree with Sherry Pamela sense? How do you know that things are subject? Oh, this is what we're learning. For that, first of all, we need to know what is subjective, what is objective. You're getting it? So which is correct, you don't know. But at least you have to know if things do exist objectively, it should exist like this. If things do exist subjectively, it should exist like this. Okay. Now with this, my question to you is, what do you understand by subjective existence? Right? Even if you think that this already discussed earlier, you can still say this. Anyone? Quick. Mental creation. Anyone else? What do you understand by the subjective existence?
Mental imputation.
Mental imputation. Anyone else? What do you understand by subjective? Just share your thoughts. Shambhala?
Existing from the mind side and not from the objects.
Something which exists by the part of your mind, not from the object. For example, like the road, the traffic rules. Traffic rule is not decided by the road. You getting it? Traffic rules is decided by the people, right? By the way, when was the traffic rule created? When was it made? If made by the people, huh? Britishers came.
India. Okay, so before this is free.
We didn't have this time. We didn't have this rule. Whatever it is.
So before this, no rule means it's free.
It wasn't free.
If you don't have to pay, you have to free. Yes, no?
It says that when the Britishers came, we got the roads, etc. in India.
So why they made the rule?
Because they themselves drive the same way.
So Indians, they did not drive. Okay, so just imagine no cars. Suddenly one car came from British, right? Then traffic rules created, right? With one car, no traffic rules required, right? Huh? This is what I'm saying. Britishers came, then they brought the car, first car, not the thousands of cars came together. One car came first, right? One car, okay, now traffic rule. No traffic rule for one car. For one car is very beautiful. You can drive anywhere, people will follow you. It's for fun, right? Then more and more cars coming. Then there's a jam happened. Then the sick people, ambulance, they could not move. And people die. VIP movement is happening, they could not move, they get stuck. So they cannot attend to very important meetings. So issues started. So these issues brought to the government. And government says, yes, we have to do something, we have to solve this problem. Otherwise, cars supposed to be making us more, make our life more easy. It makes our life more difficult now, right? Now earlier, the hospital, the sick people, they can go, it may take a little time, but the car is faster. Now when it gets stuck in traffic jam, it cannot even move. The patient dies. So it creates more problem now. We have to solve the problem. How to solve some problem? Then the government officials, they recruited to create think tank. Think tank, thinkers, the experts. They brought these experts. Okay, now you decide what do you do. There's a problem. You solve the problem. And they come together. They said that then we have to make a rule. So what is that rule? Created by these experts. By their body or by the mind? By the mind. So the rules, conventions, they're all created by the mind. So conventions, mental, subjective, mean the same. You getting it? Are you good? So with this, now what we're learning is that, okay, with the traffic rules, it's 100% subjective. How many agree with me in a sense? Traffic rule? Yes.
If we started to see things subjectively, in sense of subjective existence, the world you see and the world I see or perceive is totally different. So in a way, I'm really confused. We don't live in the same world, in a way.
Okay.
Differently, like this book, for example, you can perceive it differently if you see it subjectively, right? And I can perceive it differently. So it doesn't mean that this book is the
Dijana is saying that if everything is subjective, I'm seeing this as a book and you may be seeing this as a chocolate. No. Then, so this is not permissible.
The book is just an example.
This is what I'm saying.
The things we perceive.
If everything is subjective, then what I see is very different from what you see.
Yeah, I'm asking.
It should be, right? If I'm seeing this as a book and I don't know what you are seeing, it can be you may be seeing a chocolate. No, why not? No, for you it's a book. For me, you don't know.
The convention. You both have the same convention in your mind, and you both have learned when you were.
So for two of us, this is not convention. For two of us, this is not convention. Convention means it's subjective. What her mind sees, what mine sees, my mind sees, these are different. You're using glasses. I'm not using glasses. You're getting why? What you are seeing as what I'm seeing is different. You agree?
Yeah, of course.
You agree?
Yes, I do agree that the perception of that book is different for each of us.
100%.
And then we all live in different worlds.
Exactly, we live in different world. So you may be living in the world of chocolates. Everything's chocolate. There's 1 chocolate, 2 chocolate, 3 chocolate, 4 chocolate. There are many chocolates. No, we never know, right? Okay, this is a very serious discussion. If everything is subjective, is it that we are living in a different world? This is the question. You're getting it? If that is the case, in a way, are you saying that you are seeing that I am seeing everybody as people, but she may be seeing everybody as a piece of chocolates, right? Why not? Why not? Why not? Right? What is there to evaluate what others are seeing? You have no clue. Because every time you have to use your mind, or you use your mind, this is purely personal. Personal.
Which is why convention is so important. That we all see each other as humans and not as chocolates.
So, same that what I say as a human being, what you see as a chocolate, you call it as a human beings, right? Because the same convention. You're getting it? This is a huge question, very important question, and it can take us to the bizarre consequences. You're getting it? Then instead of the hall filled with people, hall filled with chocolates, hall filled with flowers, all these bizarre things and the conclusions can come to solve this problem. To solve this problem, then because of this bizarreness, the Buddha taught, the Buddha remained silent. You're getting it? Because it's very complicated. It's very complicated. People will come with different thoughts, right? Right? So the Buddha remained silent. Better not talk. You're getting it? Yes, of course. These are very complicated issues. So finally, Indra and Brahma, they made more requests. Then the Buddha taught what? Buddha taught the 4 school steps. You're getting it? And finally, when you reach the in-between, very complicated. In-between, when you push to say that others are seeing chocolates, you cannot really say no. But when you reach the final one, what is that? Prasangika philosophy, then you will get the ease. There's no contradiction there. We are seeing the same thing. Yet everything is mental imputation. There's no contradiction. To reach to that level, you have to pass by the Vaibhashika, Sautrantika, Chidamatra, Savatantrika, Madhyamaka. You have to cross all these, and finally you reach that point where your mind gets rest. That you dissolve all the complications and the contradictions. Okay, so the point that we are learning is how to see things as how to know, not just see, how to know that things exist as like a dream, as subjective. For this, we need a lot of examples. One example that we gave is the example of the traffic lanes rule, the traffic conventions, like the money, right? And so forth. We have to give as many examples. Like, say, the dream is a beautiful example. Dream is purely subjective, but when you're in the dream, you see things as objective, because of which you are stirred into emotional states, lost control of the emotions. You wake up, you can control of the emotions, knowing that the dream is purely subjective. So when you know that everything is subjective, then there's total control of your emotion. So that is known as freedom, total freedom. So that freedom is experienced by your mind. Once you reach that level, you will never relapse. You will never relapse. So that is known as total freedom, total fearlessness. Okay, so we stop here. Yata Om Gati Gati Aragati Arasamgate Bodhi Swatya Aragati Atyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasam gate bodhi swaha. 3 prostrations.